You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
U.S. Cellular has noticed the way we use our phones has gotten ironic. We try to put our phones down for dinner, but the menu's on a QR code. That's ironic. We hit like on social posts that we don't actually like, which is ironic. Which is why U.S. Cellular created Us Mode, to help us reconnect with each other and use our phones less ironically. A phone company wanting people to use their phones less is ironic. Let's find us again with Us Mode from U.S. Cellular. Visit uscellular.com/builtforus to get started.
It's the most magical time of the year, and I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about the NFL season. So make sure you're ready with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Get the most live NFL games all in one place. Right now, you can save $85 when you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket with YouTube TV. Sign up today at youtubetv.com/Spotify. Device and content restrictions apply. Discount applied to first 4 months of YouTube TV, then $72.99 a month. Ends August 29th. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. No refunds.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident finalist, as always, Ryan Schlipp. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_daddy. Well, we've got some training camp news. The Green Bay Packers have officially taken on the Baltimore Ravens in a joint practice. We've also got, there's been some speculation about the Packers possibly making a move here in the near future, kind of getting to that point where, again, we got to start making some 53 decisions. I'm going to have to really get on that fast because we've got, obviously, content as far as joint practices. We've got the game coming up, and then almost immediately we got to start having some 53 discussions. So, and by discussions, I mean we got to start whittling it down to the officials. But with that being said, there are some moves being made, and there's some talks about the Packers possibly making moves, so we'll go over a couple of those as they come up in chronological order. In fact, I think the first thing that did come up, not necessarily due to this, but it's kind of a breaking newsy day, via Adam Schefter, ESPN sources, Falcons are signing standout cornerback A.J. Terrell to a 4-year, $81 million deal. That includes $65.8 million in effectively full guarantees, the largest guarantee ever given to a corner on a 4-year deal. Contract negotiated by David Mulugeta and Trayvon Smith of Athletes First. Mulugeta, first of all, dude is buying himself a new house after this year, and it seems like every big deal that's being negotiated is David Mulugeta, so that's certainly the biggest name in agents right now. Then we had a trade. The Browns are trading kicker Cade York to the Commanders for a conditional 7th-round pick, as Albert Breer said. Washington had some struggles with their kicker spot through camp and now get York from Cleveland. And I'm sure this will probably upset some Packer fans when you realize a conditional 7th is available for teams for their kickers. Now, this is obviously going to be a situation where the Browns have other options, and they were presumably going in a different direction anyways to see if they could get something for their kicker. I'm not going to dig into today Cade York's numbers. If it becomes a bigger thing among Packer fans, like we should have done that deal, then we can look into it. Until then, I'm just going to leave it alone, but that is the situation. You got teams who are looking at their 53 cutdowns. They have 2, presumably, that they like, one more than the other, and they see if they can deal the second one. And so there you go. That doesn't mean you can go to any old team out there and say, I'll give you a 7th, give me your kicker, because a lot of teams are just going to say, no, this is our kicker, bro. We don't have a second option. There's also an article, and I doubt this is going to happen, but it is an interesting discussion. It says the Minnesota Vikings should trade for Russell Wilson. Now, I don't know the financials of it. I feel like that's kind of a disaster. I don't know if the Steelers could even do it. Plus, I'm pretty sure they like Russell more than they like Fields. But I also think they probably know that they don't have a good quarterback in either of them. So it's interesting to wonder if the Steelers could be looking to deal one of them. Unfortunately, they put on displays to kind of demonstrate that neither of them are worth very much, but interesting to keep an eye on, I suppose, as we, again, get close to that period of time. The Commanders, by the way, did release kicker Riley Patterson because they got a new kicker. So Zach Cruz posted some stats. He says Riley Patterson is an 88.1% kicker on 67 career field goal attempts, 76% on kicks over 40. Kicked for 3 different teams, Detroit, Cleveland, Jacksonville, since 2021, and was 2 of 5 on field goals and 1 on 1 on extra points this preseason. So again, presumably that will be part of the conversation. Should we look at Riley Patterson? I'm not going to do it right this second, but again, it's a thing. Quick Jets update. We haven't really talked about them much lately. They did confirm Rodgers isn't playing in the next preseason game. We already knew that. He was done for the preseason. That was already talked about. The interesting part, though, Saleh on his confidence level that Reddick will report in time to play on week 1. He says, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I will never get over how horrible that just overall situation is. Just putrid. All right, getting into Matt LaFleur's press conference now. Matt LaFleur says Jordan Morgan will work through individual drills and then be evaluated for whether he can participate in teams. So it's just good that he's moving in that direction. We will see on Jordan Love. I think there was a conversation about Jordan seems to be done now, but they're going to wait and see how this practice goes and whatnot. I think that's been discussed already. Asked to elaborate or, if something needs to happen today one way or another, he said, we'll see. By the way, Matt LaFleur did say he went back and looked at the tape, and Nick Bonito did hit Jordan Love's arm. So the idea that the fight wasn't really necessary and Matt LaFleur being upset was overblown because they thought Bonito did it, but really he just pushed, Rashid or whoever it was into the quarterback. Matt LaFleur said, nope, Nick Bonito hit him. In fact, this is from Ryan Wood. He says, Matt LaFleur film showed 100% the Broncos defensive end Nick Bonito hit Jordan Love's arm in joint practice last week. Quote, they're in different colored shirts for a reason. Stay off the quarterback. It's not that difficult. He went on to say that Rasheed Walker is really starting to pick up on his detail, helping him grow at the left tackle position. LaFleur adds that he has a high ceiling, which I love to hear. That's always the fear for a 7th-round pick, is that there really isn't a high ceiling. Although I don't know that that was necessarily the case with Rasheed Walker. I think a lot of people were shocked he fell as far as he did. There were certainly some concerns, but I feel like there was also a lot of high upside that a lot of people felt, at least at one point or another, he would end up going a lot higher. Matt LaFleur on Josh Jacobs' camp, he said, quote, I think he's had an outstanding camp. Still think there are certain things that certainly he's getting adjusted to, but he's a pro. He approaches things the right way. I expect him to hit the ground running. Pun probably intended? I don't know. Coach Matt LaFleur said the team is still awaiting additional tests on running back A.J. Dillon Stinger. I know I listened to the boys on Packers Total Access discussing maybe this is the reason he didn't play in the last preseason game, not so much because he has the spot locked up. I think it's a fair question to ask either way. I mean, I think Dillon probably does have the job locked up, but, the entire point was because he didn't play, we now know officially. However, if the reason he didn't play was because of a stinger, then that goes away, even though, again, he was pretty well locked in to begin with. Zach Cruz made the observation, Marshawn Lloyd is still out, and there's clearly some concern on A.J. Dillon Stinger. Got to think Emmanuel Wilson is making the 53. It's definitely something that you hope to get some clarity on between both of those guys for everybody trying to figure out how this season is going to play out roster-wise. Another trade came through. Washington is sending former first-round pick Jahan Dotson and a 5th-round pick to the Eagles in exchange for a 2025 third-round pick and 2 7th-round picks per source. So that was a very short-lived situation with Jahan Dotson there. Obviously didn't turn out the way that they had hoped, and Washington is out there making some moves. Obviously, there's another thing to consider, and that is that we are going to be playing the Eagles. I'm not massively concerned about Jahan Dotson. Something to look into when we get a little closer to week 1, but overall, my level of concern didn't change all that much from what it was. By the way, the Green Bay Packers did add a defensive lineman. The defensive lineman's name is Keontae Shad. He's going to be wearing I don't know what number he's going to be wearing, but he comes from the Arizona Cardinals rookie minicamp with Hale now being on a different designation. That opens up a spot. I guess you could say he's filling Odemegwu's spot. However you want to phrase it, that is where that spot went, so we'll get a look at him for a little while. And it's a little bit early, but we're just about to get into some of the one-on-one news, so why don't we take a break here, and then we'll come back and get started on that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. U.S. Cellular has noticed the way we use our phones has gotten ironic. We try to put our phones down for dinner, but the menu's on a QR code. That's ironic. We hit like on social posts that we don't actually like, which is ironic. Which is why U.S. Cellular created Us Mode, to help us reconnect with each other and use our phones less ironically. A phone company wanting people to use their phones less is ironic. Let's find us again with Us Mode from U.S. Cellular. Visit uscellular.com/builtforus to get started.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. We've got everything from cleats to Sambas, dunks, and more. Plus, the hottest looks from Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. Find your first day fits in-store or online at Dicks.com.
Want to teach your kids financial literacy, but not sure where to start? Greenlight can help. With Greenlight, parents can keep an eye on kids' spending and saving, while kids and teens use a card of their own to build money confidence. As a parent, you can send instant money transfers, set up chores, automate allowance, and more. It's a convenient way to run your household, customized to your family's needs, and the easy way to raise financially smart kids. Get started with Greenlight today and get your first month free at greenlight.com/Spotify.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the Vehicle Owner's Manual for important feature limitations and information.
All right, Travis Glover just locked up Kyle Van Noy on the linemen's one-on-ones. Roger Rosengarten with an impressive one-on-one versus Rashawn Gary stonewalled him. Don't see that often from a rookie against Gary. Colby Wooden with 2 impressive wins in 1v1 versus Ravens offensive line. Some really good reps in one-on-one for TJ Slayton, including a spin move. Be on the lookout for that, I guess. Zane Anderson and Bo Melton both are first on kickoff unit. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about this. Jair and Lamar are hanging out on the field. I forgot those are close friends. If you remember when Jair got drafted, he was doing an interview, and then when he heard Lamar got drafted, he got up, started jumping around, and that was a cool moment. So yeah, I forgot those two are good friends. Went to school together is the reason for that. All right, we got some one-on-one notes here from John Del Rey. He says, Packers O-line versus Ravens D-line. Walker went 1 of 3. Jenkins went 2 of 3. Myers was 2 of 3. Loss was a bad snap. Sean Ryan went 3 of 3. Telfort 2 of 4. Smith was 1 of 5. Monk 2 of 3 with 1 bad snap. Newman was 1 of 3. The losses were really rough, he said. Go figure. Jones 2 of 5. Spun out of his socks 1 of those times. Jennings, 1 of 2. Tenuta, 1 of 2. Glover, 1 of 2. Another interesting reunion. Defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley was chatting with a wide receiver from Boston College, Zay Flowers, so they got to be reunited a little bit. That's pretty cool. Christian Welch, Zane Anderson, Robert Rochelle, Ben Sims, Corey Ballantyne, and Grant DeBose on first-team kick return. Some fringe roster guys. Some guy here in the stands at Packers training camp just asked A.J. Dillon why he wasn't in pads. A.J. Dillon responded, "Why aren't you in pads?" Burn. Via Andy Herman, nothing doing for the Packers offense on the first 2 plays. Run nowhere for Jacobs, followed by a diving pass breakup by Ravens defender on the flat. Next play is a check down to Jacobs for nothing, but a defensive holding penalty downfield would have given Green Bay a first down. Run inside with Wilson for about 4. Sean Clifford with the number 2s. First play is a screen to DeBose for a few. Run with Merriweather looks disjointed and goes nowhere. Clifford massively underthrows a ball for Melton, who adjusts as best as he could and makes a diving attempt but can't hang on. Boss responds, "Oh, we're back." Okay, well, not going to overreact. Not yet, there's time. Stokes breaks up a Jackson deep ball for Bateman. Love to see that. I haven't heard Stokes' name in a little while. Love with an absolute dime to Romeo Doubs on a deep post. Was in double coverage but perfectly thrown. Dobbs had a quarter of a step, but Eddie Jackson makes a diving pass breakup at the last second and barely tips it away. Former Chicago Bear, by the way. Love to read for a nice pickup on the next play. There have been a lot of deep pass attempts so far during the 11-on-11 sessions of Packers-Ravens joint practice, but nothing has been completed so far in Packers camp. Hopper stops Likely, getting some run with the ones. That sounds like a confusing sentence, but Likely is, I believe, a tight end for the Ravens. We got some updates here from Herman. He says, love to Kraft for a nice gain. Run to Jacobs off the right side goes nowhere. Run to Wilson off the left side goes nowhere. Run off left to Wilson goes much better. Gain of 8 to 10. So that's good. We at least got one in there. We're making some progress, folks. Pratt with a bootleg laser to DeBose along the sideline for about 25. Big pickup and awesome throw. It's my boy, right? That's my boy. Marquez Eversole says, Pratt hits DeBose with a beautiful deep ball down the right sideline against Nate Wiggins. There you go. There's a name that probably remember. And someone else. Perfect pass, so it was a double coverage. I won't read a third note on that. Well, I'll read a third note. Holy ... Michael Pratt rolling out right threw a dot to Grant DeBose off 1 foot, and DeBose with a heck of an adjustment to haul it in 20-ish yards. We'll call it 25. Best throw of the day thus far for the Packers. That's what you love to hear. In addition to the note about Hopper stopping Likely, Wes Hodquist says he's getting some run with the ones, so it's good to hear. I mean, I don't think he starts with the ones, but, I mean, he's been impressive. And, again, it's not necessarily like, for example, Eric Wilson has that on lockdown. You know what I mean? If we're going to have Quay and Edgerrin Cooper's injured / hasn't played at all, and then we assume McDuffie's number 2, it's not that unlikely that we see Hopper getting some run with the ones here. Stokes beats up a Jackson deep ball for Bateman. I think we saw that one. And Jordan Love throws his first interception of the day. Former Bear Roquan Smith picks it off. So you got a bunch of Bears on this defense. TJ Slayton has been outstanding so far. Collapses the pocket with Gary coming off the edge. Likely sack. Still an incomplete across the middle. Some more context on the pick. Jordan Love tried to hit Jaden Reed over the middle, and Ravens linebacker Roquan Smith undercuts it for a pick. Impressive play from Smith, one of the NFL's best. Went up and got the football. Slow start for the Packers offense. Mike Spofford says Love picked off by Roquan Smith while trying to hit Reed on a cross. Comes back to Dobbs on a similar route, but good pass is dropped. Didn't look like Dobbs got his head around fast enough. Matt Schneidman now with a handful of updates here. Some of these we may have heard. Notes from first 11-on-11 period. Green Bay defense versus Baltimore offense. Bullard, Williams both repping alongside McKinney. Jackson to Flowers, nice gain up the right sideline with Nixon in coverage. Jackson deep left to Bateman, incomplete. Stokes there, but McKinney seemed to force the incompletion. Ravens false start on ones and twos. Packers offsides once in twos. Enigbare pressure. Cox sack in twos. Cox is doing some stuff, man. Picking up back with the Packers offense after the play that was interception and then the pass to Dobbs. You have preceding play was another nice crosser to Kraft. Next play was a near sack, but checked down to Wilson for next to nothing. Then Love gets the Ravens to jump off sides and completes a 12-yard pass to Dobbs down the right sideline. Short completion to Sims, who gets a few after the catch. McKinney in on several plays. Tackle in the run game at the line of scrimmage. Makes a tackle in the flat on a pass and a pass breakup over the middle. Bullard starting next to him, but Williams getting work too. Herman says Ravens defense making a lot of plays. 2 pass breakups and a pick earlier. Just had 2 more pass breakups in the last 2 plays. 1 on Love, 1 on Pratt. Pratt incomplete to Heath on a slant for about 6. Clifford gets defense to jump, but oddly doesn't take the shot down the field and takes a check down to Merriweather instead and goes nowhere. Come on, man. Bro, you want to piss off Packer fans? That is Packer fan quarterbacking 101 thanks to Aaron Rodgers. You get them to jump off sides, you better... I don't give a crap if everybody's running slant routes and curl routes. You launch that thing into the end zone, and we'll worry about which wide receiver to yell at. Your job is to launch that at least 20 yards. Ay. Sean Clifford just made his best throw of camp. Malik Heath beat first-round rookie Nate Wiggins down the sideline. Clifford put it on him perfectly. Huge gain. Sean Clifford finds Malik Heath wide open deep for a touchdown pass, says Caden. Kyle Malzahn is calling it a 40-yard pass, probably his best ball in training camp. Packers pass rush really starting to pick up as team period goes on. A nice day for Slayton, Van Ness, Smith, and Igbare Gary, all creating pressure. Wes Hodkiewicz says, never a wasted step with McKinney, always where he needs to be with one ear turned to the ball. Ravens have 4 false starts in the first 2 team periods. Packers' defensive line has been getting steady pressure. Some more plays. Gary coverage sack on Lamar. McKinney pass break up over the middle with multiple guys getting pressure. Jackson, nice completion to Wallace with Stokes trailing. And Miller, Ballantyne, good coverage, but better catch over the middle. Kalen King, Eric Wilson, good coverage downfield on an incompletion. And now another trade. The Panthers have acquired cornerback Michael Jackson from the Seahawks in exchange for rookie linebacker Michael Barrett. Not Bennett, Barrett. I was laughing because I just saw a gif of Michael Jackson as I was reading that. It just made me giggle a little bit. I don't know why. It's too bad he's not a better player. It would be fun to make reference of him more often. Ryan Woods got Jordan Love's numbers for the first 3 team periods, which were split between first, second down, and third down. 6 and 12, 52 yards, and a pick. It's been a slow start versus the Ravens' defense. Sean Clifford hit Malik Heath for a 45-yard bomb. Michael Pratt hit Grant DeBose for about 25 yards on a bootleg. We got this note here. It's the third time reading this because I'm having some technical issues, so excuse me if I'm a little curt. I don't know if that's a word. David Payne Purdom tweeted, NFL head of security Kathy Lanier says threats towards players from fans, sometimes fueled by fantasy football or sports betting losses, have increased in recent years. The NFL has a process in place to identify and ban fans who threaten players from attending games. I actually very, very much support this. There's a difference between, certain people or entities or nations overly policing language and whatnot and saying that's not nice. It's stupid and over the line, but that, in my opinion, does not include threatening people's lives. I mean, that is a crime, and football players should be reporting this to the police first and foremost. But yes, the message then should be sent to the NFL. The NFL should have a list, and to the best of their abilities and their powers, the security forces over at the NFL should make sure that these people are not allowed to attend any kind of NFL events or any kind of NFL games. If there's a way to keep them away from the NFL draft, the NFL football games, whatever it is, they should be banned from all of those things. You cannot threaten football players because you're such a sensitive douchebag who doesn't know how to set a lineup in fantasy football, and rather than take accountability for the fact that you made a mistake in a stupid game that doesn't matter, you threaten somebody's life for making a mistake or something. I don't know, whatever. I have no sympathy for that nonsense, and if that's what you feel like doing, then I don't feel bad about you suffering the consequences of your actions. And they are your actions. It doesn't matter if you create a fake account and you're just blowing off steam and you didn't mean it. They're still your actions, and it's against the law to make threats on people's lives. So there you go. First end around for the Packers offense with Jaden Reed goes absolutely nowhere. Matt LaFleur loves that play. I wonder if Matt LaFleur ever watches the tape on that. I would love to know how that goes. Is he watching it going, man, if they would just execute, this would go for 40 yards, and he just keeps begging them to do it right? Or is he watching it and seeing that they're executing it and it just doesn't work? And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have to assume it's like we're going to run this. It's a thing where you try to run it at the exact right time to catch the defense, and we're just never calling it at the right time. I don't have any freaking idea. Anyways, let's just take our final break so that we can run through the rest of this and then call it when it's time to call it. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Jaden Reed for a few on an end around in team red zone drills. Love hits Kraft on a rollout, and Kraft makes a nice move to get some extra yards. 85 is looking real good these last few practices. Love to Dobbs on a nice out route down to about the 4. A Jacobs run right ends up in Jacobs being tackled, and some Packers not happy about it. Okay, for some reason that sentence didn't work in my brain. I don't know why. I think the sentence was perfectly fine. There's a certain way my brain wants sentences said, and when it's not written that way, I just can't read the sentence. Good coverage, and Preston penetrates for a likely sack on Jackson in red zone. Devontae Wyatt meets Justice Hill in the backfield. Red zone work. Love connects with Kraft on a play-action throwback, then hits Dobbs inside the 5 on sideline out, incomplete to the end zone for either Dobbs or Reed. Possible miscommunication. Pratt makes a nice read to hit Merriweather in the flat in red zone, and he takes it the rest of the way for a touchdown. Needed to be a quick decision from 17, and it was. The screen game is picking up. Love to Kraft on a tight end screen in the red zone for a touchdown. Packers defensive line is feasting in the red zone period right now. Jordan Love hits Josh Jacobs on a quick pass for a touchdown during red zone segment in practice. You got Josh Jacobs' run goes nowhere. Dobbs with that sick red zone route at the pylon. It's nearly unstoppable unless you're Jair Alexander yesterday. The Ravens, however, do not have Jair Alexander, and it's an easy touchdown. Lamar is running for his life out here and not by design. Love to Watson on the sideline of the end zone for a jump ball touchdown. Offense starting to heat up now. Dobbs just ran a different route to the same spot and beat Stevens again. Another touchdown. Big B says, Love to Dobbs, elite end zone connection. Kyle Malzahn says, Jordan Love was cooking in the red zone drill against the Ravens defense. Tucker Kraft, Romeo Dobbs ×2, and Christian Watson all scored touchdowns there. Have a good feeling about that. By the way, Watson outjumped Hamilton apparently for the score. That is a really, really good safety. He's really big, too. I mean, he's a huge guy. Bill Huber says Love throws 4 passes from inside the 10 and had 4 touchdowns. Pratt now to Jaden Reed for a touchdown at the pylon. Beat Nate Wiggins, who's having a tough day so far. Lamar had 2 touchdown passes during a lengthy red zone period to Kohler and Flowers. Nixon also committed a DPI in the end zone, facing guard Tez Walker. Other than those, constant pressure, sacks in the backfield. Pratt now to Sims for a touchdown to end red zone period. Packers annihilate the Ravens defense in that entire period. Love to hear it. By the way, according to Mike Spofford here, Pratt just got a rep with the wide receivers Watson, Reed, and Wicks all on the field. Hits Reed for a touchdown, then finds Sims for another score. So that's what happens when Pratt is running with the ones, and against the ones, by the way. Quick note, Sean Ryan taking all 1 reps at right guard. No Jordan Morgan in 11 on 11. Okay, so Sean Ryan seems to be that dude right now. I think probably when Morgan comes back, he's not going to be the guy, but as much work as he's getting as the next man up at right guard and seemingly the next man up at center, I mean, as far as depth goes, they're seemingly leaning very heavily on Sean Ryan. And we'll see if he may just win the right guard spot outright, especially depending how long it takes for Jordan Morgan to return. Ryan Wood says, in red zone, Jordan Love completed 6 of 7 passes for 42 yards and 4 touchdowns inside the 10-yard line. 9-yard check down to Tucker Kraft. Great yards after the catch. 6-yard stop by Romeo Dobbs. 4-yard out by Christian Watson. 3-yard out to Dobbs. Wes Hodkowitz says, breaking, Justin Tucker just missed a field goal. Maybe it's just Lambeau, man. And here we go. Carlson goes 3 for 3. Joseph goes 2 for 3. So Carlson's really pulling away now. Anders Carlson now 57 of 70 at 81.4%. Greg Joseph 56 of 72, 77.8%. Alex Hale 14 of 17. He's at 66.6666%. Once I figure out the distances, I'll have to add it to my sheet. Love to Dobbs on a play-action slant is almost picked by Roquan again. Roquan just flat dropped it. He's struggling with whatever that defensive play is there. Love gets another free play, but the pass is broken up down the right sideline, I believe intended for Dobbs. Love incomplete on a corner route to Watson. Looked like Watson had a step, but Love missed him wide and low. The pass pro has been awesome by the offensive line. Love to Kraft over the middle. Big gain. Kraft is a machine. It is so much fun. I love Musgrave. I'm excited about Musgrave's potential, but you talk about a guy that I think could potentially be getting more of these kind of quicker check-downy type things. Kind of a Mercedes Lewis in terms of, man, this guy turns the corner and he's so scary. Hey, Jordan Love finds Jaden Reed deep for the touchdown reception. Herman says Love to Dobbs on a nice slant. Love finds tight window throw into Jaden Reed deep down the field. The defender probably would have been more physical in the game, but it was a small collision nonetheless. Reed held on for a big gain and potential touchdown. Eversole says Love with a laser to Reed up the seam would have probably been clocked in the game, but ball goes to the 5. It maybe they're saying incomplete because of what I just tweeted. Ball moved back. I don't know what that means. The first time Love has really felt any pressure, he navigates the pocket nicely and finds a lane to run, picking up a nice gain. Good job for the offensive line. He's had 1 pressure today. Pratt adds 2 more touchdowns to cap a good deep red zone period. Man, that guy is he's just doing things, man. Nate Wiggins all over a wide receiver screen to Toure from Clifford. Clifford with a really nice start to his day finds Heath over the middle for a big gain. Clifford needed a day like this. In Move the Ball, Jordan Love hits Jaden Reed for 33 yards deep over the middle. Would have been 38-yard touchdown in the game, but a bit underthrown, but Reed made good adjustment for the catch. On drive, Love completed 3 of 5 for 69 yards. Sean Clifford with a nice pass across the middle to Malik Heath for a first down. Good showing for the Packers' 2 defenses in Move the Ball, forced a 4-and-out. Baltimore drives on the second try with a seam to Ishmael, but Anthony Johnson Jr. breaks up the pass and gets a tackle for a loss to end it. Ayo. Clifford with another nice throw deep in cut by Heath. That's 2 explosive plays from that pair today. Ravens D reserves stiffness after that. I don't know what that means. Drop by Emmanuel Wilson on a check down from Clifford. Pass catching and pass pro are 2 keys for him. All right, now we get our 2-minute drill brought to you by Andy Herman. He says 2-minute, Packers offense, down 3, minute 30 left, ball on the 30, 1 timeout, 1st and 10. Love to Reed on a slant for 15, clocks it. Love incomplete to the right on the next play. Love to Dobbs deep down the left sideline, down deep into the red zone. Great route, great play. Love completes short, loss about 4, timeout. Love throws to Wicks, back corner of the end zone, but overthrown and incomplete. Huge 3rd down coming up. Love incomplete to the back corner of the end zone again. Couldn't tell who the wide receiver was. Good drive stalls in the red zone. Field goal team is on for the tie. And Carlson drills it. That makes him 4 for 4 on the day, bringing him up to, it says 81.7%. I thought that's about what it was before. Whatever. Same drill now for the Ravens offense. Kenny Clark starts with a sack. Timeout Ravens. Lamar fires in a completion to Lively. Bullard closed quick, but Lively made the catch. Clock ticks. Lamar complete to the sideline out of bounds. 4th down, Lamar finds a check down for a first down. Lamar to Justice Hill again on a check down, clock ticks. Lamar to Bateman and a crosser, lots of time coming off, first down, spike. Down to 10 seconds left, no timeouts. Great coverage and pressure by the defensive line. Lamar has to throw it away, 3 seconds left. Justin Tucker on for a massive kick. I think 60 plus, but either way, big one. Missed it, though. Packers defense wins. Let's go. But you know about Anders Carlson out kicking Justin Tucker today, huh? How about that? I don't give a crap how long that kick was. I think it was his 2nd miss of the day anyway, so I don't want to hear it. By the way, on that sack in the 2-minute against the Ravens, there's some disputing on who the sack was by. I think it was Eversole said it was Wyatt. Actually, Schneidman also said it was Wyatt. Sounds like it was Devontae Wyatt, not Kenny Clark, that got that sack. Same situation for the Packers 2s. Pratt at quarterback. Pratt to DeBose short, clock ticks. Incomplete down the right sideline. Not sure if it was an overthrow or a throwaway. Love to Toure over the middle. And out of reach, 4th down coming up. Pratt incomplete, but looks like holding on the defense first down. Got lucky on that. Pratt low on the throw to Merriweather. Probably best. Wasn't going to go anywhere. Pratt fires to DeBose along the sideline for a gain of 9 out of bounds. Pratt to Merriweather complete along the sideline. First down and out of bounds. Let's go. 30 seconds left. 1 timeout. 1st and 10. Pratt incomplete along the right sideline. There's 70 Ravens blocking my view, so I can't see everything. Okay. Pratt to Sims, complete over the middle. Short gain about 5, timeout. 3rd and 5 coming up. 21 seconds left. No timeouts. Pratt to Toure on a slant for the first. Spike. Clock stops. 7 seconds left. Joseph is on for the potential tie. And Joseph comes out and ties the game. That was good from 51, by the way. Now we got the Ravens 2s going out. Josh Johnson hits his receiver on a crosser for 5 out of bounds. Mosby with a sack, but looks like there was a penalty on the Packers. First down, Ravens. Short completion to Johnson. Evan Williams with the pick of Johnson over the middle for the win. Let's go, Williams. Let's go. Get some love on that one. It says Wes Hodkowitz in two's defense. Josh Johnson floats a pass over the middle, and Evan Williams picks it off. Big cheer from the Packers sideline crowd. Schneidman says Evan Williams picks off Josh Johnson over the middle to win 2 minute for the backups. Rookie safety has 5 interceptions in camp. 5. That's crazy. How many rookies have come in here and had 5 picks in training camp? Ryan Wood adds, the Packers have no choice but to get the 4th-round rookie on the field this year. Kyle Malzahn says, Evan Williams is an absolute playmaker. Hauls in an interception during the 2-minute drill. Brian Gutekunst totally turned around the safety room in one offseason. From the weakest position group last year to now, what looks to be really damn strong heading into the season. Paul Brettel says, Evan Williams does it again. Picks off Ravens quarterback Josh Johnson to end second unit's 2-minute drill. I believe that's Williams' 5th interception of camp. All right, moving on to the 3s now, to which Clifford has been officially demoted. Same situation for the Packers' number 3s, Clifford at quarterback. Clifford complete to Swinson for 7 out of bounds. Clifford check down to Merriweather, first down and out of bounds. Clifford drops in a dime on a deep corner route to Pearson, gorgeous throw. Clifford throwaway, looks like they're calling it a sack. Crosser to Stanley for a few. Carlson on for a long kick and made it. Let's go. That was a 51-yarder from Carlson to tie up the game. Anders Carlson is now 5 of 5 on the day. Herman says, didn't see much in the 2-minute drive for the Packers' third-string defense, but they got the stop and practice is over. So to be clear, that's 3 scores. It was just field goals, but 3 scores for the Packers' 3 offenses, 3 stops for the Packers' 3 defenses. I don't know what else you want. Ryan Wood says, Packers quarterback Jordan Love completed 18 of 30 passes for 216 yards, 4 red zone touchdowns, and 1 interception versus a great Ravens defense. Concerns of Love's demise after Denver were greatly premature. Herman says, outside of the Love pick to Roquan and the near pick by Roquan, I thought the Packers were fantastic today. Red zone periods were massively impressive. Great day of practice. Ryan Wood made the point, no fights at today's joint practice between Packers and Ravens. John Harbaugh says it allowed for quality reps on both sides. These two teams had the right mindset going in, and therefore we got good work in. There's a video here. I'm not going to play it, but Harbaugh basically just says he was really impressed with the Packers and thought that their defensive front was really aggressive and did a really good job. It feels like a different vibe. This is, I think, 2 teams that respect each other, 2 coaches that respect each other. Denver, again, I think he got just a different kind of a coach. I mean, Harbaugh goes back, but I don't know. I even saw there was a video of Hamilton, the safety for the Ravens, talking with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, and you can tell Hamilton, because remember, a touchdown pass was caught against him. Hamilton was talking to Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur was kind of using his hands in a way to kind of gesture as though he's coaching him. Now, you would think, like, why would you coach a different player or whatever, but it just, again, I think both teams, both coaching staffs did a good job of saying, let's get the best out of this. Let's try to make this productive. Because, look, I understand the point of wanting to be the most physical and wanting to be the most tough and wanting to dominate somebody. It wasn't very productive this last time getting together with that other team. You know what I mean? It reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen this. There's a thing that was going around online for quite a while. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's got something wrong with his head. He thinks he's like one of the greatest boxers around or whatever. He's mentally deranged, but what he does is he'll set up a camera and then he'll like go into a locker room or something. He'll hand somebody some gloves and be like, "You want to spar?" And he'll agree. And like, we'll take it easy. It'll be a light sparring, whatever. And then he'll just beat the living crap out of the guy. I mean, he obviously has some boxing technique or whatever, but he's not a professional boxer. And he beats the living crap out of him, and the guy's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, chill. I thought it was just like a light sparring, like we're just going to mess around, whatever. And this dude's throwing full-blown punches. And it just kind of felt like something like that, where it was like, this is a practice. We're trying to hone our technique. We're trying to, help each other get better is really what we're working on. And these other teams come in here and just start throwing freaking haymakers and then, being like you're a bunch of freaking losers. This team, man, it's a lot of people that I think, again, have respect for each other, LaFleur and Harbaugh, but also, again, there's a lot of connections. Jair and Lamar are very, very good friends. You got former Boston College guys that are hanging out with Hafley, and it was a completely different environment. Now, that's not to say there's not fights coming, but it just felt like that's how this went. It was guys helping each other hone their craft. Anyways, I was trying to figure out the distances on those kicks. I had one person reach out, John Del Rey. He said, when I asked, outside of 51 and 35, did anybody see? And he said, no, that's all I got. First three were really hard to judge as they were on the extreme end of the field, and rows of players are between any sideline vantage point and the holder snap. So very difficult to see where the kick took place from in the distances, but that's all right. We can see, again, 5 for 5 on the day. Really good day, and he's currently at 100% on his extra points, 100% still from the 30-yard range, 5 for 5. He's 31 of 38 in the 40s, which is 81.58%, and the 50-yard range has gone up to 64.71% with 11 out of 17. Again, there are a couple missing because we don't know the distances, but of all the ones that we do know the distances on, those are his current numbers. So I'm going to leave it at that. You guys have a good rest of your day. I will talk to you tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Have a good one. Bye-bye.